Hey, Damon, happy Monday, my friend. How are you, dude?
I'm doing great, Kurt. Doing great.
You know what? You look great. Is there anything like what happened over the weekend? Like you have an exceptional glow to you today. You know that? You just
Well, I
like
got into the sun for the weekend, so that was
nice.
good. Got
Awesome.
the
Was it
sun.
was the weather nice?
Yeah, it was. It was pretty nice. It was
Yeah.
chilly. It was
Yeah.
chilly, but it was sunny, so that was good.
Hey, I got snow here.
Whew. Yeah, I saw some snow when we were over the mountains, but
Did you see some snow? Yeah.
not on either side.
We haven't had snow at all. And I shouldn't have done it because there we go. Okay. All right, hey, let's dive in. So happy Monday, dude. It's this is one of our favorite topics we're gonna dive into today. So
Something we thought we people. I don't think people really understand that we actually do something beside this. We work on businesses and B2B and e-commerce like we do.
yeah, well, you work, right? I think, so. All right. All right, let's dive in. And so, yeah, this little e-commerce thing, let's dive in. There's nobody below us today. We don't like we're guest.
Yeah, usually.
We're guestless. So I know, and we're at a different time. So thank you for being flexible. Thank you for anybody out there. Boy, you're out there. Join us, whatever time zone you're in. It's early, Damon. It's like 7 a.m, dude. Did you have breakfast yet? Did you have your coffee?
Yep.
All right.
No coffee, but I had breakfast.
All right, so you're doing good. All right, so we're at a new time today, and we've got a great topic that you and I we're super passionate about this topic. We're going to dive into B2B and e-commerce, and the big takeaway is hitting that easy button. Did you know? I don't know if you knew this. Just this year, they changed the name of back in the day when I was a kid, like it was electronic commerce. Remember back in the 90s when we were
Yeah.
young? It was electronic commerce. Did you know that they just changed it? It's like an
Nope.
official. It's the E now stands for easy. It's easy commerce. It's not electronic commerce.
There you go.
That's new. So moving forward from 2024 on, we are now calling it easy commerce. It is no longer called e-commerce for electronic commerce. It is easy commerce.
Yep.
So, hey, D Grant is here today. D Grant, happy Monday to you, my friend.
How's it going?
For joining us. We got Damon Pistulka in the house. Damon, we are talking B2B and e-commerce for manufacturers, how to hit that easy button. Let's dive right in. So manufacturer out there, say they've been around for 100 years, decades. Yep. They've been here for a long time, and they did word of mouth. They were, traveling, trade shows, that type. And, I don't know, that little COVID thing maybe threw them for a loop. And so now e-commerce is no longer a nice to have. It is a must to have. Let's dive into kind of an e-commerce, easy commerce 101. They want to start looking at platforms. Like how would we get this party started? You want to run through, we've just had a number of dear friends on the program here that work for major companies that are e-commerce platforms. Do you want to give a shout out to a couple of platforms that you would advise for a manufacturer to get started with?
Yeah, there's several that come to mind when you look at platforms. When we talk about platforms, it's really software applications that are web-based that help you sell products online. Because the first thing you're going to realize when you try to do B2B e-commerce is I have to make a listing of some sort for a product, right? We go to Amazon and we look at all this stuff. We think, oh, it's really cool. I can buy my whatever I'm buying and I'm going to get on there. Oh yeah, I'm looking it up. Oh, all that little information about it, the images, all that kind of stuff, and put it in there. And when you do that, as a manufacturer, that can be kind of daunting. So these companies we've had, like you said, several of them. We have BigCommerce, which is one that's well known in the B2B community. They do a really good job. They've developed an application. Adobe's got applications. WordPress has got applications that you can that help you manage your listings, because you need something that says, here, put your images here or your video here to show your product. Here's where you put the description. Here's what you put the price. And here's actually even some of them get what we with several of my clients, when we're doing B2B e-commerce, it's like, oh, what about quantity discounts? You might want to, if you sell 5 or 5,000 or whatever, you might want to give a little bit of a discount or something like that. And then, so they put these things together. So those platforms, and one that most people would know is Amazon. Amazon is an e-commerce platform. You as a producer or manufacturer, you can list your products and sell them on Amazon as well. So these platforms make it easier for manufacturers and other B2B companies to get into this e-commerce. So
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, man, how about my heart? Did your heart just get a little more warm,
yeah,
Damon?
yeah.
So
So
Inger's
good
in
to
the
hear.
house. Inger, happy Monday. And hey, and D Grant says, thank you for renaming e-commerce to easy commerce. So D Grant, you are more than welcome. Steal it, shamelessly take it, run with it, and tell all your friends, your family, your mom. I told my mom yesterday, it's now easy commerce. It's no longer electronic commerce. So
Yeah.
Damon, let's do a quick recap. So manufacturer out there, like, all right, guys, I'm kind of all right. I'm a little skeptical. You haven't sold me yet, but okay. So we mentioned, I think you mentioned Shopify, right? Did you mention
Oh,
Shopify?
I did not mention Shopify
How about
though.
Shopify?
Shopify is actually, and sorry I missed that one, because that
Yeah.
is probably the most popular or well known out of them, because it's, they started out in the smaller, if I had a business in my garage, Shopify is a great
Right.
place to go. Okay, I'm doing something and selling my products online like that, but they've really evolved over the years, and they're like the QuickBooks of
Yeah.
e-commerce platforms, really.
Yeah.
And integrate with a million different apps and all the different kind of things they can do with Shopify as well. So these things are really, really have changed the game and made it easier to get into e-commerce.
Yeah, you're making a great point. So whether you're just a startup or publicly traded company, all the way in between, Shopify has really become the ubiquitous platform. It's anywhere, everywhere. Man, I can't listen to a podcast without hearing the Shopify ads.
Yeah.
So great place to start. Big Commerce, dear friends of ours. They are heavy duty going after industrial, B2B, e-commerce, manufacturers. We had our friend Jennifer on from Adobe last week. Adobe Commerce, which used to be Magento, is now Adobe. Phenomenal. More if you have very complicated custom work, a little pricey, right?
Yeah.
And then of course, WordPress is also ubiquitous. I think 35% of all websites are on WordPress. If you're already on WordPress, and I know some folks might be a little critical of, going that route, but it's a great opportunity to just tack on WooCommerce and you can start there. You mentioned Amazon being the marketplaces. Let's hit the marketplaces for a second. So now we're speaking to the OEMs, right? The original equipment manufacturers.
Yeah.
We've had DigiKey, we've had Zorro on the show. There's all sorts of marketplaces. You've had incredible success with your clients, with Amazon. I know Walmart. Talk a little bit about your experience with the marketplaces.
Yeah, the marketplaces. The one thing that marketplaces give you is traffic. They give you users that are there to buy your kind of products, right? So if I'm someone that would potentially sell through Grainger, or to the kind of customers that come in to visit Grainger, Zorro might be a really good place for you to list your products, because they're part of Grainger. They're trying to attract the same customers there and make it really easy for them, because it is easy commerce, as we talked about, for their kind of buyers to buy products from them. And, these marketplaces, the one thing that they do that I don't know any other individual company can do as well, is they are advertising to their buyers. I mean, that is what they do. You look at the amount of money that Amazon spends on advertising. Aren't they like number one Google advertising spend or something like that? So they really are driving traffic to them, or they want to drive traffic to their sites. And then if your products are on their sites, you're going to get a lot more traffic than you do. It's incredible the amount of traffic that they can get. So if you're a manufacturer and say I'm making paintbrushes, right? And I should be selling on Amazon.
Yes,
I want my own website. I want my own website because if I have customers that want to buy or they want to, my own website, I should be selling there too. But Amazon is just another place for you that's going to give you incredible traffic and exposure on your products too.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And the thing, I guess, we're going to rattle off some things. If we had like stat checkers or people, confirming us, they might call us out. But what is it, like 50 cents of every e-commerce dollar goes to Amazon or something crazy? So
it's something like that.
If you're not on Amazon or some of the marketplaces, Walmart, et cetera, niche marketplaces that we mentioned, you're really putting yourself at a huge disadvantage.
You bring up a great point. The niche marketplaces. Most people don't realize that Home Depot has a third-party marketplace where you can sell on. Most people don't realize that Kroger has one. You have many of these stores you can go to them. Target does too. You have to be invite only on Target. It's kind of hard to get into it, but
Right.
these are the kind of places where it can really, if you have the right product for that kind of
Right.
audience,
Right.
they bring the audience.
Right.
And
Right.
it's a great investment to get on those platforms.
Well, and on that word, and what's the investment, right? You're not talking, it's not, you're not building out a 10, 20,
Oh
$50,000
no.
website. You know what I mean? Like the investment is super low. And the big thing is the marketplaces, they are attacking those exact keywords that you want attacked.
Yes.
So whether it's you or your competitor, somebody's going to be on there. Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot, Global Industrial is another great marketplace.
Yep.
A lot of these folks they're attacking, they have the marketing budgets, they have the bandwidth, they're getting SEO, free organic rankings. So it really can put someone at a huge advantage by partnering and aligning yourself, complete disadvantage by intentionally ignoring those marketplaces.
Well, and you make a great point. One of the points that people may not realize that you just made is buyers are so used to buying things from Amazon that
Yeah.
if your product is or Walmart or any of these, Home Depot, doesn't matter which one, if your product is close and should be on there,
Right.
you are probably missing buyers, because those same buyers, A, probably are not going to find you. Some of them are not going to find you. And B, even if they would find you and go to your website, they wouldn't want to buy because they like to buy off the place that they like to buy off, and they'll go buy a competitor's product.
That's
so
right.
Getting on these platforms is not just about selling a ton, right? Sometimes it's just increasing your exposure across these platforms to be able to go, we are there. If someone wants to buy us on this platform, if someone will buy at that platform, that's just fine. Ultimately, yes, we want to bring them to our own website where we've got our BigCommerce or Adobe or our Magento or whatever we got going on, set up on that. But they can, if they're comfortable buying on Amazon or Walmart or one of these other platforms, why not be there?
Why not be there? Why not you, right? If
Yeah.
Mr. or Mrs. Manufacturer, why not you having your product out there? And you were talking about the amount of money that Amazon spends on Google. Amazon, how many times, Damon, do you go to Amazon to start your search where you don't even go to, how many millions of buyers, B2B buyers, not, we're talking, just think about your B2B buyers that are starting their search on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And not
it's
even going to
insane.
not even going to Google. So, I think, and we've, in our webinars that we do, we show examples where we've had clients that are dominating, their particular product. It's a niche product, but they're really dominating that product because they've aligned, on that search, here's Amazon, here's another Amazon listing, here's Walmart, here's DigiKey, and oh, by the way, here's their website. So they're swimming in the same pond with billion-dollar companies. We've seen small manufacturers on that page, but man, they're owning that keyword because they've aligned with those marketplaces. Okay.
Yeah, you've got some great examples in your work, Kurt, where they've done that, right?
Yep.
You're owning keywords
Yep.
against your competitors because you're on Amazon, because you're on other platforms. So you bring up a great point.
Yep.
If you think about it and you go, I've got the greatest whatever, and it's listed on Amazon. Amazon wants to sell that. Amazon will promote that product on Google. Right. So you may come and search for your product, and you might find that my Amazon listing is a sponsored listing, is ahead of everything else on that page. I may not even be on the first page, but my Amazon listing might be.
Yes.
It's just that it can really change the game for you and the exposure of your products.
Totally. So let's go here. Let's take the contract manufacturer. All right, let's stay on the OEM for one more minute. Then we're going to slide into the contract manufacturer. But let's take the engineer. You're in Seattle. Engineer at Boeing, and it's Engineering Elsa. And this morning, Engineering Elsa came into the office, and they're like, "Hey, Engineering Elsa, you need to go find this product." She goes online, does a search, and she lands on Amazon. She can go from Amazon and then go to your website direct because she found you on Amazon. Now, if you're not on Amazon and she didn't find you and she found somebody else that was on Amazon, it might be a inferior competitor. It could be an inferior product, but guess what? They raised their hand. They were at the right place at the right time, and we
Yep.
chose not to be there. So that's a negative. Hey, D Grant has another comment for us. Hey, you're both providing some great insights and tips, platforms. Thank you, D Grant. Appreciate your comment. Any questions you guys have? Man, we've got the eCommerce expert in the house here today, Damon Pistulka. So, Damon, let's go here. Let's talk about, we're talking B2B and e-commerce today. Let's talk for that contract manufacturer feels left out of the e-commerce party. Okay. Now, a couple big things that we love to promote. Okay. Let's dive into the customer portal first. Our dear friends at BigCommerce, man, I don't mean to, we love all those e-commerce platforms. However, I do have to say, our friends at BigCommerce do an amazing job with the customer portal. Walk through, folks, or just explain, like, what is the customer portal?
Oh, it is a way that you can make these repeat customers, just make it so easy for them to order from you 24/7, right? Because they can be sitting there and go, okay, we've got this custom assembly, right? I'm going to buy this thing and I buy it from you because you're the supplier. We designed it together. We built it together. It's completely custom.
Right.
But I know now that I pay $100 for them and I order them in lots of whatever, or however we buy, all this stuff is already set up in there. So, and say you've got 25 of those different things and they're going every week, we got to place an order for this. Well, what better way for it to allow them to do it through an e-commerce portal where they can log in.
Yeah.
They have their own custom pricing for each item they buy from you, quantity pricing, everything, cut technical support materials if they needed that. But just for the ordering alone, you just made it so there's no pushing purchase orders back and forth. It simplifies the process, even to the point that if their systems talk to your systems, you could even get it so once your inventory goes below a certain level, it automatically kicks an order over to you. That their customer's inventory gets low, automatically kicks them over for replenishment. Everything is set up. Nobody touches a darn thing, and away you go. This stuff can literally change the way you do business, because now your people are not going, oh, I got a purchase order from this. I got a process. I got a blah, blah, blah. You're not. They're actually talking to people, building the relationship with them, helping them do, making their world better. And that's what we want them to do.
Completely. So, and let's give a shout out to our friends at Gen Alpha, right? Chris Harrington, Kevin, let's give a shout out. So if anybody out there is not familiar, check out Gen Alpha, genalpha.com. They offer an incredible, powerful e-commerce solution for manufacturers and distributors. And Damon, what's Chris's the best line of all time, right? Don't force your customer to call you for the price of the O-ring, right?
Yes.
Yes. Don't force your customer to call you for tracking information. But let's go here. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So for the manufacturer, let's put ourselves in the customer service person, the person that's receiving other, let's be mindful of their time. Let's think about, for a real tiny manufacturer, you get a couple POs a day, not a big deal. We got a data entry it. Somebody sends me a PO and I enter it. Think about the person that receives 10, 20, 50 POs in a day. Right?
Yep.
And now it's automated and it's e-commerce into your system.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't eliminate a job, you created more opportunity. Right? Let's dive into that for a minute. Let's let that marinate and savor for a minute.
It's a huge, and I've been able to see this firsthand in some clients where we're literally processing, thousands of orders a week. Yeah. And it happens with little or no human interaction, right? You're moving product.
Real quick. Can you imagine that? I'm very familiar. Your client's been on our program. Can you imagine if there was a data entry component to every order that came in? They would not be in business.
You can't, because your accuracy and just the time it would take, it would not allow it. But but what it does is like I said, it allows you to handle these volumes with almost. Once in a while, computer glitch. You may get once in a while, you may have a problem, but it's not very darned often.
Right.
But you get that just happens, right? Yeah. So now your people are not talking to someone on normal routine things. They're talking to them, helping them when they really need it the most.
Right.
When there's a problem.
Right.
or when they need some more technical expertise.
Right.
You know, that's what we really want our people to do. And this automation, you mentioned another thing, you know, back when we were actually had businesses, I mean, in businesses running them, right?
Right.
How big of a pain was it to tell everyone, you know, people calling just to know that you did my product ship? Now we get automated notifications by e-commerce. It goes out the door. It automatically, we don't even think about it anymore. We get it, that kind of stuff. But those are important things that e-commerce just automates and makes it easier to give your customer a much better experience and make your business more effective and efficient.
Completely. You know, you've heard this one before. You know, when I had my e-commerce business 100 years ago, our running joke was, how do we get the phone not to ring, and how do we get the email not to ding?
Yeah.
And the point was, every time the phone rang and there was a question, we were like, you know, everybody would run around. Okay, why did the phone ring? What information was not on the website? You know? What, you know, oh, we got an email. Why? And so, like, every time, just relentlessly, you know, and this was 2005, 6, you know, every time somebody asked a question, we're like, okay, why, you know, do we not have the dimensions? Do we not have the size? Do we not have the shipping? Do we not have this? Did they not get their tracking information? So, I mean, if you could just relentlessly think about your customer in the spirit of, what's our new line? Easy commerce, right? If we just dedicated ourselves,
easy commerce,
you know, you taught me like that frictionless experience, right?
Yeah.
And so again, so for that contract, you know, I've been rambling. We've been going on about the customer custom portal. So for that contract manufacturer out there, we're like, hey, wait a minute, guys. Like, I don't have the proprietary good. I don't have the, I'm not an OEM, you know, I feel a little bit left out. You absolutely can have that customer portal situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think back to the companies that were contract manufacturers that I ran, and it would have been so nice. I mean, we were doing it by email or by, you know, in the old days by fax, even, where you're going, okay, this is our order for the month, this is our order for the week, whatever we need to do, or this is our production schedule. You know, you got to keep up with it, right? And now that can all be automated. It makes it so much better for your customer service people and their purchasing people on the other side.
Right. Makes our buddy Dave Chrysler proud. So let's go here, Damon. So for the contract manufacturer, they've got several opportunities here with eCommerce. They can have that customer portal set up, number one. Number two, let's talk about what we love to preach is, though they don't have a proprietary product, they have proprietary processes.
Yeah.
That proprietary process can be and could be and should be their e-commerce, aka easy commerce opportunity.
Yep.
Right. So if you're a contract manufacturer, you're manufacturing, you know, the widget that goes in turbine engines on Tuesdays, or, you know, whatever your niche product is. The question you want to ask yourself is like, well, this little widget, it goes in that engine. Are there other engines on the planet that part can go into?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that engineer is not typing necessarily your process, you know, and how many times have we talked about like your keyword strategy, right? See, I bend metal, I cut steel, very broad.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get into like, I make this part for this engine, just talk a little bit about how important, like what you've seen with your clients, how important that is.
Well, yeah, you got to niching down like that is critical, because just like you said, you're gonna make it so much better for them to be able to find you and find you specifically what you need, because your customer is searching for that. They're not searching for, they may even know what it is, right? So the more you can do that, the better off you're going to be, and get the listing found and get your products found, really.
Right. Absolutely. And now we could go back to our marketplace conversation, right? Yep. Because now you can take that part and you can say, well, wait a minute, you know, people are not going to order that part. However, that part is now coming up on search. That part is now coming up on Amazon. That part could come up on Walmart or Zoro or DigiKey or any of the marketplaces, right?
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you a dirty little secret of the industries that do this, right? If I go on and I buy, say, I need a headlight for a Mercedes-Benz, whatever, it can be the same headlight that goes into a Toyota something, but that Mercedes headlight, when I type in the Mercedes headlight da 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 da.
Right.
You can likely charge more for it, and they do.
Right. Right.
It's, you can do brand based stuff, but it's the same bulb. It's the same thing. It goes into both of them. But
Right.
just because of the way you've got it listed on a separate listing, you can charge differently for it too. And OEM and custom manufacturers, I mean, you can all do this kind of stuff, but the e-commerce allows you so many different opportunities to really change the way that you're thinking about your sales and marketing of these products.
Right. Absolutely. So, all right. So let's go here. Let's dive. So we've covered for the contract manufacturer, we've talked about that customer portal. We've talked about taking your proprietary process and converting it into a proprietary product or e-commerce, easy commerce opportunity. Right. And man, if this resonates, reach out to Damon, reach out to me, and we'd love to geek. Man, I just geek out on this stuff.
Yeah.
Let's take it home here. Configurators.
Oh yeah.
This is becoming more and more common. We've been talking about it for many, many, many years, but is now becoming more common language, in e-commerce and with manufacturers. Your experience, why are configurators just such a great resource?
Oh, it is like, go try to order any vehicle, go on Haas, HAAS, and look at CNC machining centers. You can configure a machining center. It doesn't matter how you want it, put all the pieces together, different, whatever the things you select on something like that. It spits out a cost. You can order it right there. Configurators for you. I don't care if you're making snowblowers or whatever the heck, you rocket engines, right? You could have configurators that put these things together. And even when you think about things like fabricated components and other things like that, if you just think about a metal enclosure, how many different gazillion sizes of metal enclosures are there? Well, you could build a configurator that says we go in sizes of 2 inches, any direction. You can have these different features on it. It can be painted, it can be stainless, can be blah, 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 blah. They could just select all this stuff, and you could build out the pricing for something like that relatively simply anymore with these systems. And what it does is it allows you, as you said, going back to your custom process, giving you something that you can sell. E-commerce is the products that come off of that product or process. And it's amazing what you can do. You and I geek out on this all the time on these configurators. And sometimes now you even see where you can drop a 3D model into a configurator and it will give you an estimate.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That you're talking about something that makes your engineering day better. If I'm designing something, I go, hey, this is a prototype. I got to get a price on it, blah, blah, blah. Right. And if you're that custom manufacturer on the other side, says, hey, sure, as long as we know the material, we can give you even if it just says a ballpark estimate on it. Right. If you can drop it like that, how much better off are you than somebody else that they have to call up? They have to talk to somebody. They have to exchange the designs. You have to review the design. You have to then, okay, we're going to make an estimate, blah, 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 blah. And that person may have just wanted to know, is it a $10 part or a $1,000 part?
Couldn't agree more.
And so you can get that kind of thing as a custom product manufacturer. It in so many different industries. Right. I mean, you just think there's so many different industries that you can do that with.
Right. No doubt. And you hit it right on the head. Engineer out there, they're creating a prototype and they're just like, you know what? I need to know, like you just said, is this a $10 part? Is it a $1,000 part? Can you just get me? And I just need to know as fast as possible. We did a webinar a couple weeks ago and, a manufacturer came on and, their customer said to them, why do you make it hard to do business with you? Like, do you like, I really like you. I like your product, your quality, but you make it hard to do business with you. And I think, everybody out there is putting out quality product, but boy, you would just hate to have an inferior competitor beat you to the game just because they made it easier to be found on search, found on a marketplace, found on Amazon, found on Google, what have you. Right. And then it was just, I could get a quote like that. Or like you just said that word, they're like, hey, wait a minute, guys, like I'm a wire harness manufacturer. We have an infinite number of configurations. You just said, what if it's just an estimate? I'm not, this might be $25 to $35. We're not sure exactly. Could you send us a drawing? But we're at the 75-yard, we're 75 yards in. We've got 25 yards to go, and
Yeah.
we're almost home. I'm sorry to throw out a football analogy, but anyway, whoever's listening gets the point.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said something too that I think people listening need to really understand, especially in the OEM and manufacturing space. It's not necessarily the best products that win, right? It's not necessarily the best manufacturer that wins.
Right.
And I can remember this happening years ago in these manufacturing businesses I was in. Is where you'd see other manufacturers that were taking the time to get out there and be seen and worrying about their marketing, worrying about making it easier for customers. They're not necessarily the best product. So don't think that your product or service, because it's better, is going to win out just because of that. It's not. You've got to be found, and you've got to be easy for customers to do business with you. And eCommerce does that, makes it easier. And, if you're in B2B and you're trying to do e-commerce, it's just getting out there and making it easy is so important.
Absolutely. So Damon, should we announce it today? We're changing the name of the show. So it's Manufacturing Easy Commerce Success.
Yeah,
right?
just changed it.
We just made that up now. So anyway, Damon, any parting thoughts, words of wisdom for this wonderful Monday that you want to close things out with?
I think people that are looking at B2B and e-commerce should really take a hard look if they aren't doing it already, because it can change the game for your business. I mean, you've got examples, Kurt, from your past where small manufacturers are getting Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Raytheon, all these huge companies are buying product from them that they would have never been able to engage with if they had not been on e-commerce. And this is really turns you into a global supplier without even having to be a global supplier. It just, what it can do for your business is it shrinks the world so it's in your hand and you can sell right from there.
Drop the mic, brother. Dude, drop the mic. Man, that was a great line. We might have to record that, and that might be our closing. Every show, man. Just shrink the world and put it in your hand. How about that one, huh? How about that for a Monday morning? That's not, man, dude.
Wake up. Where are we at?
Yeah, what coffee are you drinking this morning? So, all right. Why don't we let's close out. We'll wind down, and thank you for hitting us at a different time today. Appreciate everybody's flexibility, and we will close things out. And man, do we have a good guest on Friday, man? We're gonna have
it's gonna be a great time with Trish.
It's gonna be a great time with Trish. We're going global on Friday. We've got all sorts of fun things happening here. So, all right, guys, close out. Have an amazing, incredible rest of your week. God bless you. Damon, dude, you're very inspiring today. So just like I love to say, go out and just be someone's inspiration.
Thanks, everyone.
See ya.